Man, I'm super excited that, I came back from, hey, Amir, what's happening?
Amir,
Amir, he's
Russell.
probably in some other country. Where are you at today, Amir? What part of the
Yeah.
world?
Still in California, flying to Europe in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Gosh.
Right.
right. Cool,
That's
cool.
awesome.
And we've got Nicole. Good morning, Nicole. How are you?
Amir, are you formerly known as Amir and now Russell Inyart? Are you
Am
the
I?
artist, the realtor formerly known as Amir?
Shoot, actually, I sign up. Oh my gosh, the Russell's name. Okay, never
That's
mind.
funny. It's all good.
Okay,
We know that
Okay.
big smile.
Well, Randy
All
is
right.
officially our host today, but I have a feeling that he may hand that off to us. So, Randy, take it from there.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And in Puerto Rico, we're having a blast. We traveled here from Vegas, and today. It's just about really reliving the excitement, the highlights of EXPCon. To me, it was one of the best EXPCons ever by far.
Yeah.
The opening party was off the charts. The closing party was off the charts. If you missed any of that stuff, man, you missed something special. And they're really going all in on EXPCon, making it the starship event of EXP. So that's not one to be missed. Next year it's going to be in Miami. So get your tickets, get them early, and plan ahead for this stuff. It makes it a lot easier when you plan ahead and you're chipping away a little bit at a time, or getting your flights booked way early and looking for that. I'll tell you something that we've been using a lot lately is Google Flights. If you haven't ever looked at Google Flights, it's ridiculous how cool it is. You can give it a date parameter. You can say when you want to go. And we're getting like first class tickets across the country for $350 a piece. We paid $770 for first class tickets from Vegas to Puerto Rico. So that's two people, by the way, two people. So there's some really great opportunities to start booking those kind of things a long ways in advance. And when you're not in a rush, you could wait. You could see, hey, wait a couple of weeks. You get a text every time that there's an update in the price and stuff. So just something to think about. It's going to be announced soon where the hotel is and all that. I don't think it's been publicly announced yet. So look for that. Look for the early bird and all the things that are going on with that. The early bird tickets are now. But I want to open it up and do some takeaways with the event. Like, what was it for you? I know what it was for me. And for me, it was the amount of guests that we had there and the experience the guests had. I've not heard a single guest that's not coming. And that's a big statement. Think about that for a minute. The Explorer Pass, the power of that. But I haven't heard of a single guest that we met with that's not coming. And they were not in EXP. They were there to explore it. So yes, it's an opportunity for the future. Yes, if you didn't bring anybody, it's a mistake in the past, but we got to focus on the future, right? That's what we've got to focus on now. So I want to open it up. Any takeaways from your experience at EXPCon that you thought was outstanding? Anything that stood out to you that was important? And also for the people that weren't there at EXPCon, maybe some of these stories will help them understand what, not only what they're missing from a FOMO relationship, but actually how to inspire them to learn from some of the things that we talked about and some of the things that came out of this event. Russell/Amir.
Yeah, so I would say I agree with you. So it's probably the best EXPCon so far, with a lot of new updates, especially on the AI field and other stuff. EXP solutions. I mean, I did take a lot of notes. Unfortunately, last day actually I was listening to Rick, and I took a lot of notes from Rick, and I got your message I saw online. So he passed away yesterday, right, or last night. So I still couldn't believe. So that's a big loss for EXP, big loss for the world. But I did take a lot of his notes, but door knocking and stuff. So he had very good tips and tricks. But overall, yes, absolutely the best EXPCon. That's my fourth now so far. And definitely I took the most notes here, and not only about him, but also AI and a bunch of other stuff.
Right. You know what one of the things I loved is they weaved in the agent awards during the daily sessions every day. So instead of being a gala party or some special event where only those recipients go, they highlighted the individuals through the whole event to all the attendees. I thought that was really special. I thought that was really brilliant on their part. I think some of the breakouts were some of the most powerful breakouts we've seen. The general session was amazing. The speakers were amazing. So really for me, again, it was seeing the vision of EXP and the eyes of guests for me, because we got a lot of time with the guests. We got to spend a lot of time with them, and watching their transition from day 1 to day 2 to day 3 to day 4 was pretty special. I mean, I had one guest, not going to say names, but on day 1, it was kind of like crossed arms, checking this out. Like, I'm here really exploring and checking this out. And by day 3, they had EXP shirts on and pins and hats and bags, and they were just EXP to the hilt. And I'm just like, that's legit, right? That's when you know you have a really solid buy-in, when they buy out the wardrobe of EXP when they come as the guest. That's pretty cool.
Nicole, Nicole's raising her hand, but
Yeah.
this was your first EXP. I'd love to hear your impression.
Oh yeah, please.
Well, that's what I was going to say was this was the best EXP con because it was my first one. So it'll always have a special place in my heart. But
Wow,
it sounds
Nicole.
like it was a step up from what all the previous ones were too. So I'm glad I got to experience that. And I also brought an explorer who let his office know yesterday that he'll be joining us. So
Yay.
exciting. Yeah.
And what did that trigger?
Well, that triggered that the brokerage that him and I both came from is willing to listen to what we have to offer. So we're taking the baby steps with our awesome team here to fill in the information that they need to consider that. So
Love that.
I have no doubt that when it's presented that they couldn't see the benefits for their brick and mortar. So we'll see if we can get there. But I have to say that for me, the commitment to technology that was unveiled to us at EXPCon. I mean, I left with, I just actually was sitting there this morning going through all of my photos and slides and everything that I took pictures on and notes and stuff. And just, the content was so powerful, and it's really hard to come home and figure out the first thing that you want to do. But I'll tell you, I love the Growth Day app that EXP provided for us. That's really amazing. And I don't know that a lot of people got it with people so that they can get on that. And it's just that Growth Day app is pretty powerful. So
That's
I was
cool.
very
Nicole.
impressed.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for, giving us that look of what it's like to be a first-time participant of EXPCon. That's really, really cool. And you said something that's really close to my heart. I've talked to agents over the years that are in a brokerage, they're happy, but I'm like, what would it be like for you to be the broker and have all the agents in this brokerage under you? And again, you have that opportunity with EXP. You could join EXP individually, but then the whole brokerage and even the broker of record can come in under you. And effectively, you've now created a brokerage of the same or similar size without the risk and liability and exposure that you have to open up an office. And that is really, to me, the gift of EXP. And I love it when I find somebody that's like, yeah, I have big dreams and visions of having my own office and all that someday. I'm like, come into EXP and get your brokerage to come with you. Eventually, they'll be under you. And I just think it's such a cool opportunity. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else? EXP takeaways, things that you really love.
Well, I'll go ahead and jump in. And again, this was the best event, the best EXPCon, one of the best events I've ever been to. And I've been to a couple of them. And as they say, it's not only what happens at the meetings, but it's what happens, Stephen Covey says, you learn more in the hallway than you do in the classroom. So for me, I had some great meetings, one-off meetings where, hey, I just grabbed Jay Kender and pulled him aside in the hallway, and Russell and I chatted with him, and through that created a relationship. A guy by the name of Larry Benet. This guy is amazing. In fact, I'm not going to share anymore, but he will be our guest Freedom Friday to learn how amazing he is. So, but I also had some great takeaways from Brandon Burchard. So I've got a quick slide deck we're going to go through. And Brandon, if you didn't see that, or if you haven't heard him, definitely need to listen to him. He is the best of the best high performance coach. And basically what he shared how to take what we're doing right now and achieve your desired results. And he said, I mean, he has met with the best of the best, Richard Branson, Warren Buffett, Robbins, he coaches, many sports athletes. And so what he shared is, what does it take to be a high performer? And so it takes habits, and we all know that. And so number one, he said, to raise your ambition. So we need to raise our ambition. A lot of us might be a little burned out or whatever. I came home and I reset my goals. I raised my ambition. I raised my goals, took photos of my goal list and what I'm doing this for and who I'm doing it for. And he said it takes determination and hard work. And the flip side of ambition is action. So we need to definitely take action. Okay. And then number two, he said, find something to fight for. For me, it's for my family. I don't want my inaction to cause harm on my family. I'm fighting for my family. So find something to fight for. He had great stories about that. And that makes it internal and emotional. And then number three, he said to get your mind back. I mean, right now we are so overwhelmed with so much on the social media and the news, and it does more to terrify than clarify. On average, we spend 2.5 hours on this stupid thing. And even if we just would take, if it would just be 1 hour less a day, that's, over time, that's going to be like, 2 months out of the year of work time that we can really pour into either our family or our fun or our success or our business. So that's number three, get your mind back. And then number four is honor the struggle. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. Don't worry about it. Honor the struggle. And we need to push through that. So those were some of my takeaways. I thought he was great. So, and then the last slide is, every day ask yourself, who needs me on my A game today? Why is it necessary that I show up and serve with excellence today? So I took all of my notes from EXPCon. I had an A sheet, I had a B sheet, and then I drilled it down to a C sheet. And then I have an accountability partner that I reviewed my new goals in the action list and the dates when those are going to be done, just to make sure that all these files just kind of don't end up on a stack over on my desk. So that's my takeaway, and I'm sticking with it.
Nice work, Tom. I appreciate that. That's a great visual. And Brendan was really dynamic, and he looks in his picture, he looks like he's 24 years old, and he's a young looking man, but he is very powerful on stage. The way he tells a story was really impactful. The way that he drags you into the story and has you take this hero's journey through the story was really incredible. Well, I have a couple things on Don.
Yeah, I just wanted to add and maybe echo Tom's comments about the hallway conversations. I was reminded that we have such a unique opportunity with EXP because we are one company. I've never been involved with a company where we all own the same stock, and the level of collaboration and support is just unparalleled. And so I had a number of meetings with Jesse Sarkowski, with Connor Steinbrook, with just incredibly talented people that are not in my organization, but they're my peers. And Jesse actually flipped out his phone while we were at breakfast together, and he goes, "Do you remember this picture?" And we had taken a selfie together in Puerto Vallarta, which was, I don't know, it was right when the pandemic hit, actually, about whatever that was, 3 years ago. And we had set a goal to one day, well, actually, we had said it was, I think Puerto Vallarta was February, and our goal for the next February was to get to 300 agents.
I love it.
Right. And if you think about that in the context of the gap and the gain, right?
Yeah.
And both of us, of course, are multiples of that beyond that now. But it was just, sometimes I think we lose sight of just how far we've come and all the relationships we've built and the wealth that we've helped create. And just, it was really a beautiful little moment that he and I got to share, and that an event like that makes possible. And one of the things that Tom and I did before we wrapped up the event, because we had some great meals, you know, we we joined Matthew's team for a bit, and then we had dinner with Russell and Amir and so forth as well, and their whole teams. But we said, you know, let's be more intentional next time. And that's something I encourage all of you to do, is not only make sure that you're at the event, but that you've planned. So I'm now doing a grid. Oh, did you get
Breaking up a little bit, Don.
can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, so basically he's saying plan for the next event, and Don is a planner. I'm not kidding you. So he said, first thing, he said, okay, let's sit down and plan out Cabo. And he pulls out, you know, his calendar, he pulls out his little notebook, and we really planned it in detail. That's not my sweet spot. It was a little bit of nail on chalkboard. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about something else. But Dawn, are you back now? Yeah, we're kind of beeping out there. So I think that was great. Okay, Randy, back to you.
Thank you, brother. Well, you know, oh, sorry, was somebody speaking?
I think
No.
it's Matt's turn, Matthew.
Well, I was going to say, Tom, maybe you could elaborate a little bit more. It's a teaching moment to say, well, what was it that you guys are planning for Cabo? Like, what are the things that you want to put in place that you feel you missed out in EXPCon, so other leaders in your organization could go, yeah, we want to duplicate that.
Yeah, great question. So we've mapped out each meal and who we're going to spend time with. So we'll go ahead and email that out so you all can start planning on that meal appropriately, so we can leverage that.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, little bit of technical difficulty, but you know, what I hear in that is really planning out so you're maximizing the event, right? At this particular EXPCon, man, I was it just seemed like we're an appointment to an appointment to an appointment to an appointment, and that's really the gift of it. And breaking bread with staff. And yeah, I'm gonna mute you, Don. Just actually, I'm not the host, but we're just getting feedback. You know, it's interesting. This doesn't have to do with EXPCon, but I think it does. When I was on my way flying across the country, I listened to the 4 Agreements, and I've heard about the book before. I've gathered little pieces of it before, but really intently taking off the power and the presence of EXPCon into a book like that. I was coming home, was really, really impactful. So I want to leave you with the 4 agreements today. And I'd suggest you write these down. They might be valuable to you, right? So, and this is in my words, not like verbatim in the book, but number 1 is be impeccable with your word, right? Your word is everything. Your word is gospel. And in business, you sometimes only get one chance to stay in your word. And so be impeccable with your word. Number 2, don't take it personally. I'm guilty of this. I take things personally. I don't, it's just either a competitive side or a stubborn side or whatever, but that's something that I identified that I've really got to be focused on being better about. I'm committed to being better about. But don't take it personally. It's ultimately leveling up yourself, right? Don't take the poison as it becomes yours, right? If you bring yourself into somebody else's poisonous conversation or poisonous situation or drama or whatever it is, self-preservation is one thing, but if you take it personally, it becomes yours. Then you could take ownership of that. If you don't take it personally, it cannot affect you. It can't be part of your story, right? Number 3, don't make assumptions. It leads to many, many challenges and difficulties. Seek to understand, stay curious, stay in curiosity, and don't make assumptions. When, you've heard when you make assumptions, you make an ass out of you and me, right? That's the old statement. What I love is when, like Bill Pipes, one of the things he taught me, it's like in the absence of communication, stories get created and upsets occur. And that's been kind of my battle cry now. In the absence of communication, stories get created. You're making assumptions, right? And people are going to get hurt. People are going to get their feelings hurt. People are going to make decisions that are, away from that. And number 4 is always do your best. This allows the first 3 to become deeply ingrained habits in your person, into your persona of who you are, right? So it kind of layers over the other 3. Always do your best. If you're focused in those 4 areas of the 4 agreements, I think we'll all be better humans. I think we'll all have a life worth living and ultimately relationships worth having. We were sitting on the couch last night when we got a phone call about Rick Jiha, and we wept. We wept for minutes and minutes and minutes together. And, that's a guy that made an impact. That's a guy that made an impact on my heart, on my life. And it's because of his love. It's because of who he was. He was impeccable with his word. I've never seen him take anything personally. He just seemed like everything rolled off and he was just a beacon of light, right? And I don't remember Rick ever making assumptions on people. He was just loving and caring and giving. And, one of the only men that I allow to kiss me on my neck, right? That's Mr. Rick Jiha, right? So as I, kind of end this and pass it back to Tom, for me, that was an impactful moment of summarizing this trip, of really getting in tune with this and taking notes of how we can take this information away from eXpCon, because there's a lot of sexy and a lot of exciting things that happened with announcements and new series of products and deliverables and so on. But at the end of the day, how do we put those in place to leave a legacy? How do we put those in place to maximize the EXP opportunity and compensation model, to live in legacy? So when you leave this world, you leave it as a better place. When you're impacting the people around you in a way that makes them better for being in your presence, and vice versa, right? That's how I feel about this company. That's how I feel about this organization. That's who I'm positioned to be as I continue to grow up in this world, right? So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Tom Daves and wrap us up and give us our announcements for the week, brother.
Okay, so good, so good. Can you guys hear me okay? Just raise your
Yes.
hand. We good? Okay, thanks. Yeah, so again, this Friday, we have Larry Benet. This guy is CEO, investor, and a huge connector. I mean, he's been able to connect with the best of the best. And as I mentioned, Richard Branson, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Tony Robbins. I mean, I'm not kidding you. This guy, at first I was a little pissed off because he kind of butted in with my conversation with Jake Hinder. But once I opened up and I started listening to this guy, I mean, it's huge. So he's going to share how to strategically stay in touch with your database and with other relationships to add value and to launch your network by 10x. So anyway, that's this Friday at 9 to 9:30 Pacific. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Randy. Good seeing you guys. And have a great day.
You too, everybody. Thank you for all the contributions that you do, and good seeing everybody in person at EXPCon. All right, Megan, Russell, aka Amir, everybody was great seeing you guys. All right, Nicole, congratulations and welcome. We appreciate you. All right, everybody, have a great day.
See you later.
See you soon. Bye.